So we're on a street called Dover, which is a pretty high-performing street over here if you get the properties at the right price. So, woo. So here's our house. And right off the bat, so I'm looking at these investment properties to see what kind of scale of work they really need. So we're missing some soffits up there too. It's not the most expensive repair, but we are missing some of the boards up here for the ceiling on the porch. So let's go ahead and go in. All right. So the real bread and butter on this one is definitely going to be the layout. The layout of this house I really like. I kind of pre-walked through it, but I'm going to show you around and then we're going to crunch some of these numbers and see how much this rental property is going to take to become rent ready, and then also what our rent price is going to be after we're done making it nice and doing some fix-ups. So layout is a huge thing for these rental properties on what makes them rent out fast and for top of the market value. So we walk in and we have a really nice size living room, which I really like. And then we have a separated dining room with this beautiful built-in right here. And then our fourth bedroom of the home is downstairs, right over here. And we have this. Now, throughout this whole house, keep in mind, we're gonna need carpet throughout the whole house, which is probably gonna be around like $2,900 to $3,000, and we're gonna need a paint job. It might not look like it from here, but when you start zooming in on some details, we have some poor patchwork, so ceilings are gonna need painted, and then our walls are pretty dingy and scuffed up and dirty. So, and honestly, this yellow color, I'm not a huge fan of with the rental properties. It just screams rental property and not home. Now, this kitchen is really nice. I really like. I wouldn't change much about the kitchen except for the flooring. So lay a nice vinyl floor, an LVP floor here. It's about $425 a square foot. Probably around like a $600, $700 expense for this. So we got our kitchen, and then we have a little pantry right here. But yeah, I really like the kitchen countertops. I really like the kitchen cabinets. There's not much to do here except take those appliances out, because tenants provide their own appliances here a lot. Now, this is definitely leaves a lot to be desired. We have a ceiling repair that we got to do here from the old plaster crashing in. And then we have some basement paint that we got to knock out too, unfortunately. But to paint this basement, scrape these walls, and do this floor is probably around $2,000. We're gonna budget for a new hot water tank, but currently this one's working. We have a nice Carrier furnace down here, which I really like. And then we have a nice updated service panel. Everything's wrapped in conduit. It was done perfectly. So let's head back upstairs and really see the bread and butter with this property. So if we're budgeting around $3,000 for carpet and flooring, about $3,000 for paint, we're at about $600 to $700 for this LVP flooring. We're at about $6,600. So let's call it $7 for the ease of math. We have really nice vinyl windows, all the windows, which is actually huge. So if you don't know, Toledo has a lead ordinance, and you have to have your house's lead-based paint inspected, and they'll automatically fail if you have any chipping paint, which is a really bad problem with these old windows in the sills and in the sashes. So, yep, you can see here's our carpet. Reasons to replace our carpet. But when we walk upstairs, we have a really nice big open bathroom. I love this bathroom. I would probably replace this pedestal sink. And then we have a nice bathtub, good two-piece in there that's not gonna leak and not gonna cause you any issues. And then our bedrooms, we have our, technically let's call this our second bedroom. These all have closets. Nice walk-in closet. We have our third bedroom, which also has a nice closet. And honestly, with these lights, I'm not really factoring in replacing out a lot of these. They're in pretty decent condition. We could upgrade them to make it a little nicer. We have a nice little built-in right here. And then we have our fourth bedroom, which also has a closet. Now, why this is important, these all have closets. If you were gonna take this LMH, which is commonly known as Section 8, all the bedrooms have to have a closet. All the bedrooms have to have a closet. So that's really important when you're factoring if this is gonna be an LMH. We're gonna work out well for LMH when you're putting together your numbers for repairs. Because if it didn't have a closet, you'd have to factor in either putting in like a temporary closet, like a hutch, or building a closet in here. So the last thing I want to show you, which probably why we had that plaster repair down there, is we have a flat roof right here. So flat roofs with these kind of like additions, I'm not sure if this was an addition, but these tend to leak like sieves. So you got to keep these nice and well maintained. So I'm not a huge fan of the flat roof. But up here, generally, I mean, really there's no work to be done other than the paint and the carpet, which is what's really nice. And then when we're walking outside, oh, you know what? I didn't even see this the first time. You have a nice little porch. I like that. Very nice. All right, so we're walking outside. We come out here. Now we're gonna need a handrail coming down here. We're gonna have to put this back up, so we need some exterior love out here for sure. But we have a decent little side yard with a shed already. So our yard's definitely in the front and the side. And we come over here and we have our backyard, which definitely leaves a little bit to be desired, but you do have this private little spot for parking right here that belongs to this house. So that's good news. We're taking a look at our neighborhood. Houses are pretty well maintained. We're right next to this commercial building, which can be, you know, neutral, good or bad, depending on what it is. But yeah, we're taking a look at our neighborhood. We're taking a look at our houses, well maintained, well taken care of. I like it. So this house is listed for 92, might be 95. I'm thinking if we're able to get this house at 85 and we budget about 15K worth of work and we have 100 all in, I think this house would rent out for about $12.95. If we rented out LMH on a 4-bedroom voucher, possibly a little bit more, which quick and dirty leaves us at about like before, if we just factor in the purchase price of the home, the repairs, and then divide it by the annual income of the house, it leaves us at about a 14 or 15% cap rate. So add some expenses in there, that'll probably come down to like 12 But quick and dirty right now, I think this house would be a pretty good investment property for one of our investors. So I'm going to explore running some more detailed numbers with it and hopefully submit an offer for around 85. All right, so we are out at our next house. We are at a house in what we call Point Place here in Toledo. Now, I did do a quick walkthrough of this house, and I think this is a no-go, and I will tell you why. So the median rent out here is around $1,300. The top is about like $1,400, $1,500 for these houses like this, but this is an example of a house that has a really, really weird layout that I think would really affect the rentability of the home. Although you'll see, grab my keys so I can lock this up. You'll see we're in definitely a high performing area where we have really nice houses. Everyone's taking care of their stuff. It's really nice. But here we have a shared driveway, which definitely affects the rentability of the home. Not a lot of people like these because they end up in neighbor disputes a lot on parking. And here you see when you pull up, if like the neighbor is parked right here, you're not going to be able to fit a car here unless you have a very, very compact car to get back to the garage, which just makes that very awkward. Very, very awkward for the setup. Now when we're walking inside, this is our kitchen setup. To where we have an eating kitchen. There's our dining room right here. Not always horrible, but when you walk in, you have your first floor laundry that's right off your kitchen, which can be a pro or a con depending on the person. But we do have a pretty small kitchen area right here. And then off here, which you might be able to see, I know I need a light here. Let's see. We have this awkward little room with our hot water tank and our boiler. So it's just kind of, this right here is just kind of like a weird flow. And credit where credit's due, it does have a nice living room. And this is boiler heat, so we do have our boilers here, which can be a little bit of an eyesore. Let's take a look at our bathroom, which I'm not a fan of. So this is stuff that's kind of hard to see in pictures, but we have this backsplash here that was painted, and this is not gonna last, and it looks like butt. So it's gotta go, and it's gotta be tiled. So to demo that and to tile it, put the proper backing on it if we have to, is probably gonna be like $1,200 to $1,400. Maybe a little bit less, but if we budget that in there at that price, we shouldn't go over it. And we have this weird little awkward bathroom vanity that we can't do anything more with unless we kind of like really modify it and cut it out, because we do have our boiler that goes behind it. So it's just a very awkward bathroom. And we have a not a very big bedroom over here. And then we are looking at full paint. And honestly, this flooring too, it's just like not very seamed together very well. Like it's just kind of awkward. And this flooring here, it is starting to like pop up and fray a little bit. And we do have some damage. So like if water gets into this is just gonna swell up and be no bueno. And this flooring right here, it's just awkward looking. It just doesn't flow well together. But we're gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna show you why I really don't think this floor plan works. So we have a slanted ceiling when we walk up, which makes walking up kind of awkward, which is not a huge deal, but we do have very awkward bedroom layouts up here, to where it's kind of hard to figure out, like, as if you're a tenant, like where you're going to put your bed, where you're going to put your dresser, because you have these slanted ceilings up here. And it's just not laid out very nicely. But then your other bedroom over here is just very tiny, very small. So you're maybe putting a twin bed up here with some minimal furniture. So, and the biggest problem is this house is listed at like 119. So if you're going to pick it up around there, which I definitely wouldn't put in a 119 offer, with the median rent around here being 1,300 and it needing about, oh gosh, I don't even know how much this needs. Like let's just with like paint and carpet and flooring, and hopefully that boiler works. It is older. And the an older hot water tank, budgeting that in to make this like rent ready. Like let's say we have like 10 to 15. So like let's say we're like 140 all in, just having like a 140 house with like a 1,300 rental. Those numbers don't really work that well. So I think we're just going to pass on this one, mainly because the layout and the purchase price is just a little bit too high based on the repairs that it needs. And it's kind of hard to see too, but one of the reasons I don't like this is all of the texturing is different on the walls and the ceilings. So from the living room, we have this texture, but then in the kitchen, we move over to this flatter texture. And then on the ceilings, we have this odd texture. And then to the kitchen, we have a flat texture. So it's just like nothing in this house is very like seamed together very well, which really does affect the rentability of these houses. And then I also realized I'm like 45 minutes ahead of schedule, so I got to figure out something to do with my time before we head to the next one. So I think Angela's gonna be meeting us on this next one as well. Grab my flashy light, and then we'll close up shop the way that we left it. Do you have anything to say about this kitchen layout? No, not really. All right, next one. Really cute exterior. I like what they did with the black rails, the black doors.
I want to check. I need to check owner on this.
What?
I want to figure out if this is like a homeowner or a rehab.
Why? What do you think of the work?
It's a shit show.
Oh. Awesome.
How much is this listed for?
75.
Well, okay. This address looks familiar for something, but I can't. Maybe it was on the market and then off the market.
Yep. All right, so we got a tiny little living room, which we knew this house was tiny,
Yeah.
but
I gotta step outside, maybe get better reception.
all right. So I'm wondering why she said it was a shit show. She's seeing something I'm not. First floor. So we got our laundry room right here, which is actually decent. We have a bedroom. Windows. Our bedroom here. We got our bathroom, which is not. I mean, that could be done better, but I'm not seeing why she's saying it was a shit show. Why is this one a shit show?
Oh, the work's horrible. So it looks like in the history that an LLC did buy it. So it was some kind of rental for a little while. And then somebody else bought it, but we don't know if they kept it a rental or they lived in it. So,
I mean, I'm definitely seeing paint and carpet.
yeah, the paint, I mean, look at the bathroom. I mean, they obviously did some work here that's really shoddy. Coming in here just makes me realize how awesome our places are. Look at that whole goop and
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm just basing it off of all the other ones that I looked at today, but I don't think it's.
this is
too horrible.
such a, you know, these are terrible to put up. I mean, it's so much easier to throw tile up or just something a little bit better than this. And if you're going to keep this, you definitely want to glaze it. But I mean, this is maintenance that's going to happen when you buy a rental property because it's so poorly done. It's a cute little 2-bedroom layout for a single person that wants one floor. We have an older population here. That's why I wanted to see it. It would meet those needs. Kind of similar to our Werner that we sold.
What's our rent here?
Well, after making this house a little prettier, I think maybe $950.
I mean, I think painting this place would be pretty cheap. It's a small house, and then some new carpet. Is there light in here?
This is a good ranch layout for.
Is there a good? Yeah. Ooh.
Got some light going on there. So your door comes right into your laundry room. The vinyl floor is good. It's nice to have crawl access. We've got an AC, but it's a little older.
Yeah.
It's got a nice backyard.
Set up with AC, and then we got a shed back there. Needs a little love, but
Yeah, just like the doors, no cleanup. I definitely, if I was listing a house, I would definitely clean up all the backyard. So we have to find the furnace. Electric panel, this has been upgraded. So furnace and hot water tank.
maybe we got a tankless, and then maybe our furnace is in the crawl.
I don't know. Okay, so we do have a closet.
Furnace.
Okay, so I am seeing vents up high.
So you think the furnace?
So
is in
our
the attic?
furnace has got to be in the attic. But where's our hot water tank?
We could have.
We're sloping a little too.
I don't know where the hot water tank is.
I mean, so here's a maintenance issue long term. The cabinet wasn't long enough, which is really dumb because you can get one to fit here. And
You're
they
talking
had to
about that
put
seam?
That seam, yeah. At least they all match. They're all the same.
Yeah.
And it's a good layout. I mean, so that you can put a table here, but here's our hot water tank. The crawl space looks too small.
Maybe it's tankless, and it's. the
Well,
guys
then
up in
you'd see a tank. Oh, look at
here
it,
we
furnace
go.
and hot water tank.
Oh, cool. Just missed it.
So yeah, something that you do have to know about when you have them like this is when your hot water tank goes out, you do have to go tankless because you can't get your hot water tanks out usually with all this piping. So which I would do anyways. But yeah, see how you got all the pipes? You'd have to take all that apart. So if that goes out, you got to go tankless. Or you place your furnace at the same time, which is definitely older. They might have lifted this out of here or something. That's a newer hot water tank.
Yeah, I guess the paint could have been a little better.
So looks like our return is sucking from the crawl space. So that would have to be changed. That's really odd, actually. Right. Or is it heating the crawl space? Look at this.
I'm not sure.
Yep, so that goes up to that vents. Man, you got me. This is an odd setup.
Okay, so are we interested in this one or not?
Possibly. I mean, it's a low purchase price.
I think the taxes out here are a little lower too. So
Yeah,
if we
I
have
think it's worth running the numbers on, including a paint job, including new carpet. This would be a very easy home to lease out.
Well, if we're able to get $1,000 and we have a 12,000 net operating income, and if we have about $10,000 or 5,000, what's this listed for 75?
Yeah,
So
75,000.
75. I don't think you'd have $10,000 worth of work here. I think you would do some paint, do some
No.
carpet. I think you might have like $5,000 worth of work.
Yeah, I think so.
On to the next one.
Yeah, you need a new door.
Alrighty, so we are now over on the west end of Toledo. We are looking at a 2-bedroom that's listed for 75. Now our median rent around here is around $990 to $1,000, and our top rent for the 2 bedrooms here is like at $1,100. It just depends on how nice the house is, the layout, and then of course the area that it's in. So let's go take a look. So here we have pretty nice siding, and it looks like we have somewhat of a newer roof. So I like that. We got vinyl windows. So remember, our vinyl siding and our vinyl windows is very important because we have lead ordinance. So they painted this siding, actually. Now I'm getting a closer look, and it's a little spotty. And then they also got a ton of overspray on the soffits. Our gutters are a little disconnected from the roof, which is not a big deal, but I'm not a fan of this overspray. That's just such poor work. And look at the overspray on the windows here too. It's just blah. It's a shame. That's a shame. All right, so here's the boss lady pulling up. Some more lovely overspray on the doors. What is up with these houses, man?
Is it funny that all these houses start to look the same?
Yeah, we gotta, let me see your microphone here. I gotta get this.
Turn it on.
Here you go. Cook that back on. But yeah, so it's a shame though, because all the overspray on the soffits, the paint wasn't done very good. They painted the siding.
Oh, they
You
did.
could see it like
What a shit show.
all around.
Yes, and why don't we mow our lawns when, we're trying to sell a house? Presentation. Wow, that really is a shit show of spray.
Yeah, look at all of there.
Jeez, oh Pete. Amateurs.
It's got a handrail for you though.
I know. I'm always excited to see a handrail.
If it's not one thing, it's the other.
Look at this store painted.
I know, it's pretty awful.
Oh my God. I like the table though. That's kind of cute. You think they'd notice it if it was missing? We got a little wonky floor going. I'm feeling a little drunk. I will say this. They put a little better cabinet in. Do you know what I mean? They tried to do something that with the window to the floor.
It's an awkward cabinet.
Yeah, that's a little
Missing some
awkward the
covers.
way that they did that.
Yeah, you can't really get to it, can you?
No, but yeah, I definitely think that the refrigerator should go back that way. This would have created a great space to put another cabinet, which you can still do, and that'd be really nice.
Yeah, not really a good place for the stove, though. I mean, it's a good place, but there's no...
Definitely
fan or
another
cabinet.
cabinet up there with a vent fan would be
Yeah.
great, or a microwave. Potential.
Agreed.
Definitely need to finish putting
Yeah,
an
we got
edge on
some.
here, some chipping paint. Okay, do we
Yeah,
have
the floor got
lights?
chipped because there's no transition.
No, this is just, look at this, just thrown down.
Finish your work, people. Finish your work.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, look, this piece of floor just popped out because there's no transition on it. Lord, what are you laughing at? Oh. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a release, but
Yeah, but that can't be PEX. That's got to be copper
yeah,
piping,
it's got to be a
right?
copper.
Or black pipe. Copper or black.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you can tell whoever put it in was just a handyman. This isn't on right. You don't have a pan underneath. This is all out. We've got this. I don't think these are allowed anymore. They have to be straight piped in, don't they?
I don't know. We've talked about this before.
Yeah. We gotta look.
But no shut off on your hot water. Hazardous condition. Nice.
Oh, that's
Let-
1223.
Oh. Wow, has this been vacant that long?
I don't know. But man, if you're selling a house, you should take it down. Paint's nice.
That's
This
a
is
new one.
actually newer. This is pretty good and actually well installed. You wouldn't believe how many times they do things and they don't put filter holders. Look at how nice and neat this is. This is actually, is there a sticker on it that says they actually pulled a permit? It's nice. You can't just throw panes in either. You have to be a dealer, so. Oh, interesting. Oh, there's the other bench. You got a full. So one of the first things, I think taking a bunch of this stuff down is the best thing you can do. That way you don't have people putting bedrooms in basements. So I don't think this is quite up to code. I believe you gotta have a door. But nice try though. It looks pretty. At least it's numbered. And this is not like this AC. This is in addition. This is good. It must have a newer AC with that furnace.
All right, let's head back upstairs.
I'm not hating this house yet.
No, it's just the
How much is it listed for?
75.
Yeah, it's a 2-bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Look at that drywall work.
That's legit. Yeah, and look at our
Okay.
paint. Our paint is all rubbed up on the ceiling.
Our floor is really wonky. We're really,
Yeah.
you may need to look at where the settling's coming from.
And unfinished. There's the closet door here.
This is cool, look. This is actually like you have steps to get up into the attic.
Oh,
Like, that's
Yeah.
a first for me. I've never seen that. So, yeah, we need some new, yeah, no, that's nice though. Yeah, it needs a new paint job for sure.
yeah.
This is cute, and look, installed well too. It's not all gooped up, not centered with the mirror, but you've got, yeah, you gotta do a little work here. Yeah, nice hookups here. Well, we know we hate this background, but at least they use something better than wood up here. So, one more strip there. Some caulk around the bottom. The tub don't look bad.
Yeah, I like the tile.
Somebody
floor. Although
somebody
someone's
installed
got a,
this.
someone's got
Somebody
a weird
move
fetish
this.
on not finishing flooring.
So they this is weird. Like they got some drywall. Like this wall's added. Look at the crown molding.
Yeah.
It's a wonky. There's a fan work. We got a window. Window to the floor.
Yep.
It works. But I definitely would want to check and see if it's vented outside or if it's just vented into the attic. Again, nice ranch layout, pretty typical, so not bad. Poor quality work, but I mean, I think the price reflects that it needs some work. This is where cash buyers can swoop stuff up. Here's a good one. Look, they screwed in the trim.
Yeah. That's nice.
That's awesome. Look at all that caulk and the screw. Look at all this caulk.
So. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the trim screwed in. So that's a first for me.
Well, sadly enough, I'd say I've seen it before.
Oh, the trim
Stretching?
screwed in over there too. Look, it's like squared. It's like pieced together.
Yeah, look at this.
The window casing.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
the window casing.
And look at all this caulk.
So.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of cosmetics.
Yeah.
So you're gonna come in here, you gotta put, I mean, you can get away with the trim being like that, but
I mean, if you
You
caulk
know-
it and paint it better.
eventually, but I mean, I would wanna change all this. This is awful, but this one's not as awful, but look, they did the corners up here, but didn't do them down here.
So yeah, I mean, I'd say we probably have like 2,500 in paint. If we leave the floor alone, or we have to finish
Right
the
over
floor.
there.
You what?
So,
So random.
it is kind of random. But I mean, I'm looking at my layout here for a TV, and honestly, this is where my little dining area would be.
Yeah.
And I'd have my couch there with my TV up there, and this would be a little eat-in area where you walk in. So it could be very cute, very Chicago-ish, I guess. Definitely have some work here in the closet to do. They had something going on. I don't know if it was a window. The window to the door. I got that song stuck in my head.
I'd say it's of interest, for sure. I think that if you come in with a cash buyer.
I think it's funny how like all that little shit was done so poorly, but the furnace is great.
Well, it's just gonna it's a hard one to price out on how much work that it needs because it depends on what you
And it's
decide
a
to
2-bedroom, so you're looking at about $1,100 a month rent. I wouldn't want to have more than 90 grand all in. It's priced at 75. So I guess I think they're right on the money.
Taxes are cheap out here. Cheaper.
They've been going up though, so you really
Okay,
got to
yeah.
watch it. Loxley really went up. So they're about
We got to stop selling
13,
houses
14. I know.
for over market value.
Got to stop doing such good work.
Yeah, no.
But let's go see that AC. I want to see if it's new. I think it's funny that they
got
put a
this.
lockbox when you have a
Yeah.
thing. Whoa! Whoa! There's something here at this floor. Okay, we're replacing a floor now. Do you have a key?
They're in my pocket. We're gonna have no friends in the real estate community. We're gonna have none. All right. I gotta say, I'm loving this new lens for the video, though.
Nice, yeah.
It's so sharp.
Okay, now we got more work.
Yep.
It definitely is not sealed in properly. That one's not bad. These two aren't bad.
Yeah,
They did
well,
something.
The ones that are wrapped with aluminum aren't bad, but that one they just kind of pieced together.
But wait a minute. On the inside of those, they covered them up.
Oh, they did.
That's weird. The roof's
A little slopey.
newer, but it doesn't look like it's been well put together. That's definitely an attic, and they didn't do a nice metal thing around the chimney to seal it. They just slapped stuff. So
Oh yeah. They just flooped it on there, huh?
unfortunately, the roof was not done well. Whoa! Look at that AC for that little house. It's a pain.
That's a honky boy. Look at this yard.
Come on, people. If you want to sell a house, do you know what? We have a lawn company. Just call us. Maybe we should start handing out cards to realtors.
We need a little paint work on here for the lead based.
Which has to be done by December 2025 in the 1,
would-
2, and 1, 3 district.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
This would all just fail the visual inspection.
Okay, so now we need a few extra bucks. And that roof. Oh, and we've got.
Yeah, so that's
Some
what I was
paint
saying. It's hard to
repair.
price out depending on what you decide that you're going to do with things like that.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's all.
They tapped it in.
Oh no. Yeah, they did. So
What a
actually,
shame.
so here's what I think. I don't know. This could be a problem, and I'm speculating. But depending on when they painted it, there's actually paint that isn't safe for vinyl. But this kind of looks like it was recently painted though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But some sort of heat warped this. So whether it was so sun
could
baking,
have.
but
possibly.
there are non
Well,
colors that you shouldn't paint vinyl because
so
it'll
I think
warp it because
whoever
of the heat. But this looks like it was recently
did
painted,
this,
though.
like up there, look at how wavy that is.
Yeah.
But down here, everywhere there was a piece, they just didn't connect it properly.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have zip screws.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Poor guy.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. And then I think we've got problems with the porch.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, this will be a pass just because you've got a lot of work to do. You've got some porch issues, this siding,
Mushrooms.
shrooms.
If you eat those, I bet it'll look a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, well, pass on this one. On to the next
We
one.
could advertise it with shrooms.
All right, so we are still over on the west end. We're looking at this house on a street called Berkshire. And depending on where you are, it's pretty hit or miss. It looks like they just had somebody maybe move out and they're doing some repairs here. But the neighborhood is pretty decent as far as people taking care of their houses. But she said it's stinky. Here's your mic.
It is definitely a stinky one.
Yeah, it's not as bad as...
It's stinky though.
Yeah, it is stinky. Well, it's listed for 70. So let's keep
So we
that-
know it's gonna need work.
So let's keep that in mind.
Yes. I still don't understand why they don't want to get more money. Let's clean up, the garbage. Let's mow the lawn. Let's have a presentable house.
They said that they were still working on some repairs, but I don't know how many repairs they're
Yeah,
gonna do.
this is like kind of not real smart either.
Yeah.
But so obviously they must have just moved out a tenant who did not take care of the place very well.
Yes.
Ooh. What is that?
Yep.
Original cabinets. These are not bad because they can be painted. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And you can tell they tried to upgrade it
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
Those are easy repairs. Easy.
Yeah,
fix
drawers
cabinets.
can be remade. Handles, nice window,
Yep.
decent window.
Good
Let's
vinyl
go.
windows.
This I hate. This is my pet peeve. Tear out a floor and put a new one in correctly. Quit building on top of a shitty floor. This is interesting. Look at this trim. I've never seen the trim match the floor before.
Yeah, you can buy it from Home Depot like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's attractive.
Yeah. The only problem with that though is that you can't caulk it, you can't paint it.
Yeah, I think it's dumb.
You have to buy each piece fully to go on. So you have a lot of waste when you do it.
Yeah, and again, somebody doesn't know how to put down trim anyway, so
Yep.
at least when it's white, you can caulk it and hide all your flaws.
Well, we have a small bedroom, but we got a closet, so
It's a rehabber for sure.
yeah.
It's definitely a rehabber.
Yeah, this floor has got to go.
Oh yeah, this is so poorly laid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got window problems too. I mean, how they were installed, so you're gonna need a few more pieces.
Does it go upstairs?
Yeah, but I don't have a light. Got your phone? Dun, dun,
Oh, it's dead. It died.
dun, dun. I'll go get mine because we want to see.
Oh, you don't need a light.
Okay.
We just quickly pass through here though.
Plastic on the roof there. That's. So the roof has been resheeted, so that's good. At some point, that does not look that old.
Yeah. I mean,
We still got a little knob and tube up here.
yeah.
Nope, looks like they removed most of it. So that's good.
Nothing a good property inspection won't tell us from up here.
No, well vented. I think so. This is, they vent houses a couple different ways, and this is actually vents. And sometimes they'll do them on the top.
Yeah, it's a rehabber.
But yeah, this takes away from our closet by having this up here.
Yeah. It's a rehabber for sure.
Well, we put a new toilet in or new tub in at one point with slapping the, somebody had to go pee pee.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a rehabber. Needs a new bathroom window. Look at that. That's from not having a,
Yucky.
that window probably doesn't even open right there, and
Yeah.
they didn't open it. Well, this tenant probably didn't get their security deposit back.
It
Oh,
opens.
it did open.
Yep, but here's all the nice chipping paint.
It's lead. Don't eat it.
But it tastes so good.
You know, this will be, a house like this will be nice once we get our syndicate going. Because these we can come in here and slap and remodel, get a good tenant in, and provide a good turnkey home.
Yeah, this would actually be a pretty easy remodel. Wouldn't be too bad.
Definitely gotta do some demo first, get rid of these shitty ass doors and whoever hangs them improperly.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta go downstairs. What door keeps slamming?
Well, I guess for who we're looking for today, this is a passer.
Yeah, no, this would be more of a rehab for us.
See if Anna
And it does have that shared driveway.
might be a good rehab for Anna. Well,
Okay, newer.
newer Home Depot hot water tank. Got to rip off these 2x,
It's got a good paint furnace.
paint the basement. Here's our service.
We don't have AC though, so we'll have to put AC in. Service looks decent. Another timeout room.
Yeah, I mean, with
Got some poop down here.
AC, basement, kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel, flooring, paint. I mean, I think you're probably 25,
Oh no.
30 in.
30, 35.
So if we're at 100 all in, I mean, I don't think
It would,
there wouldn't be enough meat on the bone for a rehab
not to resell it, no, but for an investor to come in,
and refinance.
yeah. Yeah, I still think I'd want to get this under 60, really.
Yeah.
There's going to be some what ifs here.
Please tell me this isn't where the
Key
fridge
box.
goes.
No, I think they moved it there. So,
No, that's where the fridge goes.
oh my
dude.
God. Okay, this house is a total pass.
Yep.
Total pass.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't notice that.
Well,
before. Where do you put the
so
fridge?
you could put
A small
a
fridge.
25-inch stove here.
Yeah.
I think you just really have to look on how they'd go in there.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do is make some room, but what's behind this thing, I don't know. Could be chimney. Yep, definitely some remodeling. Wonder what. It's got to be chimney back there. Yep, because there's a. Yeah.
Well,
I wonder how. That.
it's a passer for now, unless you.
Here, this is funny. There's a dishwasher here.
Yeah.
I mean, what did they do with that? Oh,
We have somebody with 60K cash that wants to do a rehab right now.
well, this is when you look at why houses go up for sale. Obviously, this house did not perform, and it did not perform because it's an odd house and it's poorly put together. So, what type of tenants are you going to get in here? Ones that don't take care of a house and pay their rent timely. We want houses that attract the best tenants.
Yep. Well, we're gonna take back some of these numbers and go back to the office and see which ones are worth submitting. I think Berdan, Deagle, Berdan and Deagle were the only ones, weren't they?
Which
Yep.
Berdan?
The one on the east. Oh, I'm not Berdan. Oh, I keep saying Berdan.
Dover.
Dover.
Well, there is that house on Berdan that I
There-
think we
Yeah.
should call Andrew on and see if he'll get us in there.
All right.
Actually, we should talk to our tenants and see if they're good tenants next door.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because we got great tenants.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Till next time.